This was the first movie I was like really excited about for 2019, and it released internationally way earlier than it did here in the United States, and it was getting great reviews. I was really excited to see it. I really liked the first two films, and this was a great capper on the series, or at least really good. I liked it. I don't know that I loved it, you know? I feel like the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy is just a series of three very well done films. At least for me, I don't really love any of them. You know, none of them are my favorite Dreamworks films, but they're just all really enjoyable. But this one, you know, it could have been, you know, the Toy Story 3, where it just takes everything and all the emotions you built up from those first two films and just brings them all to like the perfect capstone and just kind of gives you that perfect moment of catharsis that you get in Toy Story 3. And there was that moment there in the Hidden World, but it just didn't hit home as strongly as I feel like it could have. I feel like a lot of that is just because I feel like the story was just really familiar, and you know, it's again something that I feel like happens in the Kung Fu Panda series, where they all just kind of feel like the same story told over and over again with very, very small differences, and it's enough to keep the films entertaining. But especially by the third one, it felt kind of old, and it's the same here in the How to Train Your Dragon series. It's especially similar to the second one in a lot of ways, and still similar to the first one, and it's enough tweaks where I was entertained, but there were some times where I lost interest because it was like, okay, I get it, I know where this is going, I've seen it over and over in this series, especially with the villain. The villain felt just a lot like Drago, except instead of, you know, having a dragon army, he's just out to kill dragons. And, you know, he had a tragic backstory where, you know, his town was attacked by dragons, and now he's out to get them all, and he doesn't approve of the Burkean way of life. And his particular thing is he wants to destroy all the Night Furies, and so he's out to get Toothless. Like, it wasn't bad, but it's just, if I feel like for me, if it was going to reach that extra level, it could have done something a little bit more nuanced, you know? You know, like the other two, there's a nice moral to the story, and it's a nice arc for Toothless and Hiccup. I kind of wish that there had been a little bit more for some of the side characters. You know, I feel like Astra didn't really have as much to do as I wanted in this film, and honestly, I felt the least amount of chemistry between Hiccup and Astra in this film compared to either of the first two, which kind of put a damper on things toward the end. And all like the kind of like the crew, you know, I would have liked for them to have just a little bit more involvement and a little bit more of an arc, I guess. You know, I feel like they couldn't have necessarily done that in this film. Just make it a little longer. I don't know. It just felt like there wasn't enough build-up for the payoff at the end. You know, as I feel like that's where most of this letdown is coming from. Is there just wasn't quite enough build-up for me to really have that big catharsis moment at the end. But they do still have that moment, and it was pretty effective, and it was really nice to see, and I still felt satisfied, and I still definitely enjoyed the film just as much as I had the last two, but I just felt like there was potential for more.